Someone put the mermaid in the well. It was a plant from the start, but we'll get to people's murderous intentions and karma later, as well as the magic at Laundry House and the spirits that came and went through downtown. Because this is really a story about love. Love that can't wait for human nature to change. The mermaid, or Undine, didn't knowingly put herself in the well, nor did she mean to return to Fayetteville. She meant to rest from what had been a wicked, terrifying human life. But she spent only a brief time in the clouds after dying. She found herself speaking with a man who had the head of a crow. "I've been watching you," he whispered after sneaking up behind her. She startled. "I have a job for you on Earth. Where am I?" she said. "You were killed," he said, "under unfortunate circumstances." "Doesn't that just figure?" "So jaded for such a pretty young thing," the crow man said. "I'm not going to let death take you. I'm sending you back. You can't do that," she said. "Can you?" "Who are you?" "We're not supposed to," he admitted. "We nature guardians are supposed to mind our own species. But your death was one step too far. We've had an eye on Fayetteville for a while. The guardian spirits agree. This town has to be put right. You will still get to live, sweet girl. How about a fresh start? How would you like to be the person who set Fayetteville to rights again?" His obsidian eye glinted down on her. There was something familiar about him, something sad and warming. The girl thought she had met him before, but she couldn't place him. "And if I don't agree?" she challenged him. He shrugged. "We have a backup plan," he said, "but you wouldn't like it. Believe me, this is the easier way to right what's wrong on the earth." "What do I get out of this bargain?" she asked. "Are you sure you have the authority to send me back to the living?" "All power was granted me by Her Highness Creatrix herself," he said, looking up at the sky in reverence. "Most of the time, the chance to live again is enough motivation for a soul," he added. "But in your case, I understand your hesitation. How about this? How about you get to run the town this time?" A smile spread across her face as she thought of the possibilities. "I might like that," she said. "All right, I'll do it." She had no chance to stipulate more conditions. Instantly, she was thrown back down to earth. She was surrounded by darkness. Everything was damp, hard cold, and slimy every way she reached. The girl steadied herself, reaching out to feel damp rock walls. The smallest hint of light emerged far above her. "Where on earth?" she said. "Hey, crow spirit, what have you done?" She felt her way around. She was waist deep in water. She wasn't standing, but floating. Her legs were tied together. She felt down to her ankles where she imagined ropes to be, but there were none. Her fingers met fish scales. Her upper body was bare, and her legs wouldn't move. A tail had enveloped her limbs. She screamed. Instinctively, she tried to run, but slipped. There were only sheer walls around her. Her tail splashed in the current of a dark underground river that flowed below her, while she grasped at the stone walls with sharp fingernails. She fell under the water and came up spluttering. The water was deep, and the cavern she was caged in was narrow, reaching up high above her like a chimney. The mermaid looked up, only seeing a circle of dim light above. It was a well. She was trapped inside a deep stone well. "That crow tricked me," she shouted, striking the side of the well with her fist. She shook her tail, and black water splashed around her. There were no other fish below, no crickets or frogs. She was alone. The wind whistled overhead. She recognized the timing of the morning church bells riding the breeze. Was there a well in Fayetteville? There was now. Things shifted like that sometimes in this town. She remembered that much. Other memories of this town seemed faint. Why had she come? Who had she been in the last life here? The sounds were the same as any morning outside the windows of the laundry house. She remembered the church bell and the foot traffic that had taken over after most cars rusted and fell apart. It seemed she was worse off than she had been before she died, however that happened. She tried to remember, but was met with a haze in her mind. She barely remembered this place. She had a memory of being a teenage girl, connected with the brothel that had to be just above her to the north of the town square. That some squirrels who had been her friends at her window before the animals died, and the wind at night through the shutters of the laundry house was all she could recall. Wait, that wasn't everything. She remembered friends at the laundry house, comrades in the fight against something dark and oozing, pulsing with death instead of life. Then her memories were only fear, water, darkness.